Good morning. Yesterday's market volatility was driven by an unprecedented set of events. Firstly, it was on account of the ongoing tensions in Iraq after the militants captured Iraq's second largest oil refinery and took 75% control in it. This has led to a disruption amongst the crude oil prices on the global markets and it affected the global markets worldwide. Secondly, was the result of the outcome of the US FOMC meeting that was held on Wednesday late evening. The positives which came out of the meeting was that they decided to keep the interest rates lower till a further growth in the economy comes out truly. And secondly, they decided to cut down the bond buying program by additional 10 billion, which has now reduced from $85 billion from the start to $35 billion currently. The Indian markets yesterday remained in a relatively negative zone throughout the day, but ended the day on a relatively negative flattish note of 0.2%. Oil and gas was the major sectoral loser of yesterday after investors decided to book profits in the stocks on account of the current disruptions in Iraq. IT stocks were the major sectorial gainers of yesterday as investors decided to change their attitude towards the business prospects in the future. The US markets yesterday ended on a marginally positive note. Coming to some news for today's session. SEBI has decided to relax norms for companies who are having a post-equity capital of around 4,000 crore to attract investor participation and help companies raise money. Companies with a post-market capital of around 4,000 crore will now have to either offload a 25% stake in the company within the next 3 years or give out 10% to the public, whichever is lower amongst the two during the IPO period. This has been taken as a positive step to ensure the revival of the private markets. Secondly, SEBI has come out with a rule and has asked the government to offload its stake in major PSUs to around 75%, which will enable it to set norms with the private participants. A stake sale by the government to 75% of around the top frontline 7 counters will help them garner around rupees 65,000 crore in the next couple of years. The Asian markets are traded in a relatively positive zone, with the Singapore Nifty being up by 15 points. The Indian markets are expected to be positive for today's session. Major resistance and support levels for Nifty comes around the level of 7599 and 7502 levels, while major resistance and support for Sensex comes around the level of 25408 and 25082 levels. Thank you very much and happy investing.